week. This week coming up, second surf lesson on the way. I'm really excited, I tell you what. Had a great time last week. But one of the things that sort of is inspiring me and encouraged me to push a bit harder is, got some big news. Looks like Scott has torn his groin, torn one of the adductors, so one of the muscles that helps draw his leg back to the midline of the body. It appears he tore it, and he didn't tear it going, ridiculously hard or, doing some sort of training that he wasn't supposed to do. And he was just doing some sprawls on the ground, basically kind of like a burpee, just getting down on the ground and getting back up. And he tore it, and we've got it on camera, and it was all in front of us. And it wasn't even that bad. Like, he was pretty casual about it. He said it hasn't been hurting him that much, but all down his leg, it's all black from this tear. So we're not actually lying at all when we say that all our weight training, all our years bodybuilding, because it's just been so extreme and so far down one end, it's going to really be a struggle for us to transfer it over to surfing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And Scotty's found out early, probably a little bit earlier than we would have liked or anticipated for him to have an injury. But a big part of, I guess, what we're doing and this show and trying to encourage men out there to get active and get fit, you're going to have injuries, and we're trying to avoid it all at all costs. So maybe we can look at Scotty and say, it's kind of like what we're trying not to do. I'm going to look at Luke, and that's what we want to do, or that's the plan anyway. I hope I don't get injured. I am genuinely worried about it. I'm going to be taking it easy. Lucky over the years to have worked with a few individuals who are many times more educated than what I am, and one of them is a researcher in medicinal chemistry. Another is an exercise sports scientist who's also a biochemist, and I was getting a bit of feedback from them the past week about just how long it's going to take sort of to transfer over to these new sports, in the sense of not tearing a muscle instantly and really being able to apply myself at 100%. This week already I've been to the pool. I was in the 25 metre indoor pool today, and I did about 300 metres in total, so the fitness is slowly picking up. I'm definitely working on the skill of just swimming at the moment, just to make sure I get that back, and it's going to start really transferring over to the surfing. I've got my second lesson tomorrow, very excited. Apparently I don't need one-on-one lessons anymore. I can join the big group lessons, so that should be a lot of fun, and I just want to really pick up the amount of time that I'm surfing combined with swimming. Either way, these are weeks where I'm going to be pushing ahead of Scotty while he's in his rehab. I'm going to be cruising past him, and he's got to do all catch up. Fingers crossed I don't do any injuries myself. I'm very fearful of that, but here we go. Another week grinding away in my attempt to learn how to surf. Second surf lesson coming up, number 2. It's pretty windy and it's low tide, so probably not the best conditions for another lesson, but going to get out there and have some fun. So I've got a million school kids, school holidays, joining the school kids surf club.
Yeah, like I said, Luke's got some issues with mobility, agility, and buoyancy. So he's going to have some difficulties there. But I wish him all the best. I hope he doesn't hurt himself like I did. And if he does, I hope I'm there to witness it. Luke's a large man, as you'll see when he's on camera. He doesn't realise how large he is, I don't think. I do believe that he occasionally has flashbacks to when he was a 19-year-old, rugby player, or a 17-year-old boxer or something like that, back to his athletic past. Athleticism, I believe, is a thing of the past for Luke, and he is now a muscle-bound, unfit, middle-aged man. And I don't think it's going to be easy for him to get the cardiovascular fitness up, and I don't think it's going to be that easy for him to lose muscle mass. He has an uncanny ability to retain muscle mass. Even when he was seriously injured, Luke was still huge. So I don't know if he's going to be able to get the muscle size down to the point where he can perform endurance tasks, certainly not in a short space of time. I think that's going to take him potentially years.
Because of the way the muscles have developed over the years, they're going to be very strong and very good at taking a maximal load. But in terms of changing direction quickly, it's going to be very, very weak, and it's going to really increase the chances of an injury. So they told me to really just push myself, Scott included, but a bit late for him, push ourselves about a 6 out of 10 in terms of overall intensity. So for 1 was me sitting here in the lounge just chatting, and a 10 was the most extreme form of exercise that you couldn't keep up for more than maybe 10 to 20 seconds at the absolute most, I'm aiming for about a 6. And the idea is that I'm going to develop my cardiovascular fitness, my aerobic endurance, at the same time hopefully learn some of the skills involved with surfing, which is going to be a lot to do with the balance and the flexibility side of things, but don't push my body in terms of the muscles more than a 6 out of 10. So don't overexert myself too quickly, otherwise the chances of injury are just too high, as we found out already with Scotty. Everyone out there that, no matter what challenges you're facing, no matter where you've come from in life, no matter what your training background is, it's never too late to begin a form of exercise, and we definitely want to try to avoid the way Scott has done it, probably going a bit too hard too soon. So you know what, he might have beaten me with the 1k run that was a time trial, but he's out of action for a few weeks now doing rehab, and this is my time to get fit, to push ahead, and that's what I'm going to be doing this week.
But at this stage, cardiovascular work is pretty much out for me. I can't extend my hip back. I can't abduct my leg, bring my leg in towards the midline without a fair bit of pain. So I think I'll be able to start doing some stationary bike stuff soon. Instead of BJJ, I think I can do some stand-up boxing as long as the lower body's not that active. Weight training I can still do, which just goes to prove the point that, as a 43-year-old man, I could squat 200 kilos. I can't do a bodyweight Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu sprawl for some reason. But if done correctly, weight training is very, very safe. So I'm just doing upper body at this stage. But as amazing as this injury looks, and it is pretty impressive, I think I can still do some lower body stuff. I think I can do some hamstring and quad isolation movements. I just can't do any big compound movements. So that's me, injured. Pathetic. 43-year-old man, should we be doing new things? Maybe we should be doing them a little bit smarter. So I'm going to talk to my physio mate, and I'm going to get some strategies so that I don't do this to myself again. And maybe you can learn through me and ease your way into it. Maybe don't be so gung-ho about it like I was. So there you go. Not off to the best start.
Coming up next in episode 5. Scotty, you going to break the news about how we're going?
Well, Luke, I would like to say that I'm strangling blue belts and you're catching barrels, but the truth is almost the exact opposite of that.
We're still 100% dedicated to the goals. Nothing's changed, although we may have to take a backward step and just get some basic conditioning before we go to the very sports-specific skills of jiu-jitsu and surfing. We are still 100% committed. We're at the airport now, going back home. I want to do a bit of training in Sydney. It probably didn't work out exactly as I had hoped for. So stay tuned as we continue to smash our goals here on Midlife Man.